oftentimes, whether it be at races or at Bobcat or just around the city, there's one person I always love seeing at the sideline. And that, my friend, is you. And there's something, though, that you do on the sidelines that a lot of people sometimes don't fully appreciate. You're out there taking photography. You're out there taking photos of us, and you're capturing us in these different stages, whether we're happy, whether we're miserable, or regretting life for making those poor decisions and racing a 10K or a 5K. But you're out there and always capturing moments. So my word choice for you was moment. And my question to you following that is, what does that word mean for you? And how does that impact your running and walking journey, whether it be for your personal running or even in the realm of your photography in the running space?
Yeah, for sure. I would say the word moment for me, I guess, kind of encapsulates why I started taking photos at races and stuff. It kind of came from the fact that I would run races and then I would always be like super upset with my race photos afterwards. Not that I didn't get some good ones, but the majority of them, if you've ever run a 5K or a half marathon or marathon, whatever, 90% of the photos you get back don't really fully capture, how cool that moment felt for you. And so that was why I started going out and taking more photos, was why I can go make that moment more special for someone else. And so going out and capturing photos of people in, that moment, one frame, one photo captures just that 1 second, but, that second, all the miles that built up to that, you don't see that. And so when you go back and look at a photo of a race, you can think back on all of the moments that led up to that one moment, and that kind of encapsulates it.
I like that you said that, because me personally, I never thought of that moment in reflecting back on what it took to get there. Oftentimes, I usually try not to catch myself slacking whenever I see you or any photographers out there. Yeah. But that's an interesting perspective that you put on that, and it's true, because when I think back, you've caught me on a couple good photos, and now even retrospectively thinking about it, there's a lot of work that gets put into it. I mean, you're a runner as well. It's like there's a lot of time and effort that gets put in that. And that one moment captures all of that build.
Yeah.
So my next question to you kind of goes around, what's your favorite moments that you've captured? In other words, so you've captured a bunch of races at this point in time, but what are some highlights that you caught, capturing people out there?
Yeah, I think one of the things that sticks out to me was the Nationwide Children's Marathon last year. So in 2025, if anyone ran it or was out there spectating, it was downpouring. It was like a miserable experience, but I was hanging out with the Durham Village Run Club, I think around mile 13 or wherever they were, and I stayed basically through everyone and just got to see all of those people and the energy and the excitement that Durham Village Run Club brought, and then how excited it made those people. Because again, a lot of them were halfway through this miserable marathon experience. They were soaking wet, whatever, and seeing how excited they got getting to that spot and capturing all those moments was really exciting for me. And it was really special because I think we get lost a lot of times on, we want to see cool photos of like all the fastest people. So it's like really, the first, 50 or 100 people that come through, but then that's not majority of the people that are running that race. Majority of the people are running 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-minute miles, and that's 90% of the race. And so staying through and seeing all of those people come through was like a really special moment for me.
Whoever ran that is tougher than the toughest people I know, because I got here late for the marathon this year. I was traveling, and I got here, and as we're driving up to mile 20, just going through the storm, and like, this is crazy. But when we got there, your point so rang true that they was going through the ringer, but they had so much joy hitting those milestones because they worked hard for that. Yeah. And I guess before I go to my last question for you, I have to always acknowledge, because photography is not easy. I'm just now getting into videography and then be pulling my hair out. I ain't got no hair. I mean, I have enough, but it's stressful enough. But there's a lot of work that goes into it. And it's not like you're just capturing. I love that you have intention behind your photography. Whenever I see your photos that have a clear scope into them, and it's not a knock against other photographers or race photos, they have a job when you're trying to capture thousands of people's and whatnot. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But whenever you take photos, there's an intention behind that, and there's a special spark that comes out of them where you're really capturing that 1 second, that one moment for them, and you've never charged, which that's a blessing in its own. So I want to say, and I know I speak for so many of us, whether it be at the Columbus 10K people or the Columbus Marathon, even down to the small track workouts at Bobcat when we're out there fighting for our lives. You're out there capturing and giving us those moments, capturing those memories for us. So on behalf of myself, and I'm sure the Columbus community, we have to thank you for what you do.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And again, you are a runner. So my last question to you would be, for anyone new entering into the running or walking space, what is one tip that you would give them as they start the journey?
It's funny you asked that, because I was actually talking to a coworker today who signed up for the Columbus Marathon next year.
Okay.
And she was asking me for advice because she knew I had run it a couple of times. And the one thing I told her was consistency. That is, I think, the biggest thing when you're starting running is to be consistent with it. It's really easy to fall into that trap of, all right, this is a new thing and I'm gonna go all in on it. So I'm gonna run every single day, I'm gonna run X amount of miles, and then you kind of burn yourself out. And so it's better to kind of take it slow and build that very slow, consistent step and build up into what you're doing. Because any runner can tell you that they start to feel too good, and then they're like, all right, I'm gonna ramp it up from here, and then it kind of falls off, or you do too much.
Yeah.
So staying consistent with it, taking rest days, being consistent with rest days too.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's not just consistent with getting the miles in, it's consistent with all the other stuff. So getting enough sleep, eating enough, taking rest days, building those into your routine makes things a lot easier.
I love that. Again, I can't thank you enough personally speaking, but I'm honored to have you, and Columbus community is so grateful for you, man. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate it.